Hello and welcome to the Gatekeepers Grove for what is going to be the level 10 edition of the Battles of Brother Purple. I haven't played for a couple of days, so I've got a long list of scrawled notes from the feedbacks that you good folks have given me to the previous videos. I was a few ahead, less so now, but I've begun to regret that decision because it's meant that some of you are under the impression that I'm just completely ignoring the feedback and kind of carrying on regardless. I can assure you that's not the case, but you'll only see it like a few videos ahead, unfortunately. So I can only apologise for that, and I am grateful, as I think those of you who give the feedback know, for the help and the input you're giving, especially on a class like this where I've literally no idea what I'm doing really. We're only at level 10 and I've already learned a ton of stuff from several of you, so big thanks for that. So we're sitting here on a nondescript tree root. We've got a little bit of the night sky in the background, crystals sort of hovering here, waiting for a juicy mouse to pop up somewhere in the grove, no doubt. So where to even begin with this? I've got an absolute raft of notes here. Yeah, let's start with this. We completed the what's it called, the Dread Isle saga, as I said I was going to do, and just the same as the last time around, died hopelessly against the Aquamancers. They knocked me down, and I basically never got up. So those things, the at the end of the first quest, the sort of intro to the Dread Isle, they are tough stuff. You've got to really focus them down, and if they hit you with that whatever it is that knocks you over, that's it. You ain't getting up. I did actually get up with the gibbers, finished kind of finished the quest, beat the boss and everything, but then your soul stone kind of goes to the bottom of the ship, and there's no rest shrine. There's no way that I can see to complete the quest then from there. Yes, I know. I was high enough level that I could have had a cleric sitting at the entrance to res me. I know. So I'm not moaning. I'm just stating a fact that those aqua things are tough. I suppose it was karma because they were doing to me what my hunting bird had been doing to them. Of which more later. We've got these two hunting bird attacks now. One can blind, and the other one can knock down. So that's been quite fun. Although they really are only any good against the big single target things. Obviously not the red bosses, but the big single targets that you face that can be CC'd. I would say the most notable of those would be that the final quest in the Isle of Dread, that room full of acid geysers and crystals you've got to break, and next to each crystal there's or next to each globe there's a copra which is often a red crown, and if you don't stop those things, they've got a lot of health as well, so standing toe to toe with them doesn't usually end up well. So being able to do this crowd control in conjunction with the CC that is built into our staff, because as people have already noted, those who didn't note already, I was a bit slow on the uptake here. This paralyzing thing, I was thinking, oh, save DC 17, everything's going to be saving. But then you look at this thing below it, the bewildering, losing one wisdom on a successful attack, and what do they use to save against the paralyzing? A will save. So that has been really effective. I guess it's going to fall off, the further up we go. But even so, I still expect to see some success there. I might as well go into the gear a little bit, seeing as I'm here. You folks have been talking about the ghost touch and the cock-up I made, well, it wasn't so much a cock-up as an experiment. A cock-up to me is when you have the information necessary to avoid it, and you make the mistake anyway. Whereas my assumption, rightly, well, wrongly as it turned out, was that this imbue, like the Eldritch Knight ones, would give us a ghost touch, and clearly it doesn't. So I swapped out the Snow Peak Ruby, which you can see is in there now, for the Ghost one, because we didn't have any other source of ghosts, ghostly or ghost touch on our gear. Now, at level 10, we've got the three-piece Ravenloft set. So, we have, well, we've got, to me that's a rubbish robe for us. Hide, move silently, deception. What are we going to do with those? In short, nothing, I don't think. But the ghostly on there is going to be very nice. And this is something else I learned. I realised we didn't have any accuracy and we didn't have any dodge on this gear. So I discovered that those Randall Lyric augment vendors scattered around the various expansions in the game can sell quite an array of these. So I went to the dinosaur one, which sells level 8 level ones, picked up the accuracy here, which I put into this one, and I think there we've got the Sapphire of Dodge. So happy days. Those two we haven't changed, it's just the Flame Guard lenses from the Temple of Evil. Just amazing for our build, that 5 deadly, 7 double strike. Nothing not to like there. Maybe I could have tried to equip a second piece, but one of you mentioned that the melee power isn't worth that much until you get further up the levels anyway. So for 5 melee power and the rest, we're not too bothered about, are we? So that's still the same. Crown of Summer, 15 heal amp, 10 melee power, and magical sheltering. I'm not sure if we have that. I think we do, so that's surplus to requirement. This one I've brought back because I like the Relentless Fury buff that keeps going off. We did have it, you'll recall, on that that belt we were using, the, what was it called? Do we still have it in the inventory? We'd better not do, else the inventory police will be after me. I don't think we do. Was it the Black Dragon Scale Tacit from the Fae? I think it was. And I was muttering and murmuring that the haste part of it never seemed to go off. I did see it go off once, but not very often, I can tell you. So less than impressed with that part. But this, much better item for us. Blurry, I noticed straight away. That's great to have that back. Dex for our reflex save, very nice. And quality dodge, we'll take that. Our dodge now is, as one of you already said, doesn't really need any more boosting. It's pretty well insane. And that armor class is as good as I've ever had, even on a multi-life character at this stage. So that's really tasty too. You can see there, 71% miss chance at level. So that totally is another layer of defense. That dodge, 24%, but we're playing in Reaper, so we have another 6% from there. So we're on 30%, almost 1 in 3 hits can be ignored via the dodge. So in melee, of course. So that's really great. And 6 more on reflex saves as well. I've rejigged the Reaper trees when we got to 10 to prioritise this defensive side of things. Frankly, I can't see too much in here apart from the boost, which is quite nice. To interest us, I mean, what's 1, 2 melee power? No, not really. There's no real stat boost that we're interested in because we're wisdom focused, aren't we? wisdom and con. So just like one hit and damage, it's not. There's not really anything there to get excited about. I put a couple in the caster tree for an extra boost and a wisdom, and the rest is in here. Con, dodge, reflex save, happy days. So that reflex save is going to be going up towards 40 in Reaper, which for our evasion is going to be good times. Right, where had I got to on the gear? So that's made a reappearance. The Seeker is valid. We don't have that anywhere else on the gear. And the Relentless Fury, more damage. That goes off all the time, so that's nice too. That one there, I didn't have anything really compelling to put in the trinket slot, at least not that I found. So I've left that there just for the 6 con, and that's it. This one we've already seen, the belt we've seen. Now this one I came across, it was initially my Warlock, I think he was using it. He was using Kinetic Law for Evard's Tentacles, which uses force damage. But Wagon, I think it was you, happened to mention that the what is it in here? That thing there, Incinerating Wave. The power comes from your own melee power, but the crit goes off spell crit apparently. So to have force or kinetic law is not going to be such a bad thing, I don't think. And there's some nice stats there anyway. False life, insightful con, so extra hit points, and the snow peak speed, max speed finally. So happy about that. Gloves are the same. No change there, just some heal amp. The corrosion is redundant. Protection, yes, we don't have that anywhere else. And wisdom for a bit on the will save. What am I on about, a bit on the will save? It's our main stat this life, isn't it? Waking up. Can you tell I haven't played it for 2 days? Ah dear. Nice pair of boots from Ravenloft. Natural armor bonus is nice for us. Freedom of movement. I don't have that anywhere else, and I don't have the flask to give freedom of movement, so that's tasty. Speaking of freedom of movement, I noticed that the spider thing at the end of the second part of the Temple of Evil, it throws some kind of web down on you, and you're not able to jump out of said web with the harper pin, because I got stuck and tried. The other thing about that quest now, it seems that Falrinth, the end boss, does not come down off his perch. So I was very grateful that we can finally use the shuriken, level 10 Barovian shuriken that I picked up, because it seemed to be our only way, short of chipping him down with bird attacks, which would have taken me forever because there's a big cooldown. The shuriken was our only way of dealing with it. There was a Reaper in that quest as well that was sort of up in the rafters somewhere, so that was a good way of bringing it down and finishing it off. I won't say it was amazing damage, but it did the job from distance, and we were never in any danger there. And against Falrinth I would have been really stuck, so it's nice to have, although the eagle-eyed among you will notice I've removed the 10,000 stars, because I agree with the comment, whoever it was who said that you're just not going to use it. I haven't, and likely won't. So I replaced it with something I think something we will use all the time passively, the excellent deflect arrows. Now I know there's an option in the Grandmaster, is it Epic Tree, to get that, but I kind of want it now, and I am missing it from the Vistani tree, because we had to come out of that to go into falconry. I won't start on that until I finish the gear, because I keep interrupting myself. That is the same. Sheltering, resistance for saves, jump, quite nice, extra fort. I thought about putting a Sapphire of Heavy Fort into the gear, but we really don't need it at the moment. We've got quality fort there, we've got 77 fort there, So we're on 100 as it stands, which I think is alright for 10, level 10. That's the same, pretty rubbish. The only things we're using there are the Master's Gift and the Balance 10. I could and perhaps should have put something with positive spell power and or crit in there to help our healing key, but I haven't, so sue me. I was thinking about the silver thread belt, which would have taken care of both, until I realised we really needed the belt slot with this cut cord thing for the set bonus there, Silent Avenger. What do we actually get? 5 double strike, 10 fort bypass, 5 bonus to helpless. It's not terrible, is it? Worth having. And the robe, everything great there. The parrying is super nice for our class. AC, finally relevant. And save bonus, same. PRR, profane 1 on everything, super nice. And a mythic bonus 2, and the Sapphire of Dodge slotted in there. Happy times. So that's the gear. I was going into the falconry side of things, wasn't I? No, I can't remember because I've slept a couple of times since then. Where we'd left it at. I think we had in the late teens spent in here, hadn't we? I'd already made the change to water, I know that. Now initially I was moaning and complaining that we'd lost the haste boost, because me being a simpleton and all, I was quite happy having one button as my oh shit button, and then hold the left mouse button down and things disappeared. That worked well. This being in here makes you think a little bit more, because you end up with these 2 hunting bird attacks which are very decent against single targets, including Reaper. You can blind the Reaper, so that's nice. What puzzles me a little bit, I thought these would qualify as like tactics, tactics DC things, and take bonuses, accordingly. It doesn't seem to be taking the bonus from this, for instance, the Reaper's Tactics. And also, you can see there 35. Now this here, Deadly Instinct, which I've picked up in the 4th tier of the falconry, which I was really hoping we could use to boost the DCs of these bird attacks, into the sort of low 40 area, because we will get half hour wisdom. So in Reaper that'll be 36, it'll still be +6, won't it? Probably rounded down. So +6 on there would be low 40s, would be great. There'd be a lot more not saving. But if you look now, I've triggered it, you can see there, nothing's happened. So these aren't taking that tactics boost, or as far as I can see, anything else relating to tactics DC is not helping there. The only thing that has helped is this, Assassinate. So is that saying it's a different thing? Tactics is not Assassinate, and we need to we would need to find an Assassinate item, or can you get an augment or something? I don't know. I really don't know about that. But I'm a bit disappointed, because I was hoping, as well as the extra damage, I kind of pushed that to boost the bird attacks up. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some super tasty things in here anyway. Attacks from the bird reduce the target's fort by 50%. Against a boss, that's going to be awesome, because it doesn't say it doesn't affect red names. So and this cleave all opponents near you, and you can cause a blind The only thing I see there that's a little bit of a negative is the large cooldown on it, but I suppose you'd expect that from something also giving an element of CC. Uh, so what do we think about this? I Well, I think in any case we're gonna change around, aren't we, at 12? From what you folks have been telling me, at 12 we're going to end up throwing as much as we need to in here to get some of these tier 5s, and this we're going to have to respec the Fists of Light thing, aren't we, to the dark one for this different where is it? Is it that? Yeah, positive energy healing. So we're gonna be going for that when 12 comes around. So I guess we're going to be losing a load of points from here. So this was my chance to sort of test out what's going on in here. The damage wise we're doing well. I'm having fun with the bird attacks, to be honest. And as I said, they worked well against nasty targets like those Kopru. But there is quite a lot of failure, and I haven't managed to boost it up. I guess it's the assassinate thing that I'm missing, and I guess assassinate is not part of general tactics. What is tactics? Is like trip and stun and all that kind of thing. Is that what the tactics is? Spot the melee newbie, if you will. Right. So that's the trees. We've thrown ourselves big style into the falconry tree, which goes, with the new stance, the water stance, wisdom focused. I don't know at what stage we get the Master of Forms. I think that's into the early teens, isn't it? But look at that, 9 dodge, 6 dodge cap. Tasty stuff. Okay, let's get back to the list of things before I get sidetracked anymore. Reaper points we've done, bird attacks we've done. Oh yes, I'm loving the general animation of the. It just so happens I'm here. I can illustrate it. The jump. He sort of jumps, and then did you see just before he landed, he kind of glides, and he doesn't drop like a stone like somebody else without featherfall would. And when I was doing the Tar Pits quest in the Dread Isle, that became very apparent, if I can spell sit correctly. Half the keys on my keyboard are worn out, so that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. When you have to land on those disappearing rocks in the pool of lava, it was just awesome. Just sort of jumping up, glide down, position yourself, go to the next one. So I've really enjoyed that particular animation, and this slow fall without having the feather fall. That's been quite immersive, at least to me. Yeah, so I initially missed haste, but rather than systematically hitting that now, it's kind of encouraged me to think about, what we have. We have a couple of crowd control-y things with the hunting bird for nasty crowns or anything like that. We have the built-in crowd control. Now our quarterstaff, now that it's got the Snow Peak Ruby back, it has the paralysing thing from the staff itself, and also the chance to trigger the Snow Peak freeze. So that's really tasty. Shuriken I've already mentioned. And yes, several of you have mentioned already that I don't need to. I think I've addressed this in a previous one anyway, so sorry for the repeat. But yeah, I'm aware that I don't need to have to actually attack things to get the 3 light attacks to trigger me a healing key finisher. So hopefully you will see me in between battles now, making use of our spare key to trigger that finishing move in between fights, which is the ideal place to do it, outside of the Reaper nerf. Next sheet incoming. um, Wagon, I did try the monk fast recall thing, but try as I might, I couldn't get it to work. As far as I could understand from what you'd written, press finish, and as it's recalling before the bar starts, change the stance. But nothing seemed to be happening, so I didn't pursue it too much. But yeah, I can understand why you said it, because that flipping spider, my God, that really took the jam out of our donut, didn't it? Yeah. Stand still. Yes, this is another point that's been raised at least twice. Unlike in the in the caster role where you're just trying to dodge and keep your blasting or whatever on the target with no penalty for so doing, moving around is costing me chances to hit. So particularly, I mean, against a group, sometimes you have to maneuver a bit, don't you, so you don't get completely surrounded and that kind of thing. Although I will say that there is nothing more satisfying than having them surround you and then hitting this whirlwind thing and everything just disappears. And you think, yes. But yeah, the times against a single target, especially when I've triggered the Hood of Unrest, maybe against an end boss, and I'm still running around like an idiot for reasons best known only to myself. Yeah, that's got to stop, and we've got to start getting more solid hits in. So I've taken that on board. Whether I'll act upon it, I don't know, because I'm so used to sort of running away from things. But I will try. Um, yeah, the one thing that is still bugging me is the blurry or displaced enemies. Now I've got to try to remember to trigger these glasses. It's the lack of true seeing that's getting us on that. Got to try to remember to put those glasses on when we face such a thing, and then it's plain sailing. But otherwise, you get a load of displaced mist, all this kind of stuff, and it's quite frustrating. A bit like what we had against those Reapers when I had no ghost touch. So less of that, the better. Um, oh yes, I noticed that. I think I've mentioned it already. I noticed the healing key can crit. So it would be nice to have both a positive power and crit item. I think the ideal place would have been the bracer, but that's where the master's gift is at the moment. I could do without that, couldn't I? Is there a level 3 bracer with positive power and crit? Maybe at this low level it doesn't matter so much. I'll do the quest and we'll get slaughtered in the slave lords. I promised you the first thing of the slave lords this time around, so we'll get hammered, and you'll be able to see then whether the positive is good enough. I suppose it depends how badly we get hammered, doesn't it? Fire and force crit we've covered. We've covered that. And that. Oh yes, we seem to have enough strength because we took some at the start to be. Why did we take strength? To be able to, to be able to go down the two-handed line, just like with the Eldritch Knight, didn't we? So when we get hit by one of these weaken type things, at least up to now, we seem to have enough strength to not lose our stance when that kind of thing happens. So that's been a bonus of putting some in strength at the start. I think that's dealt with that section. Third and final sheet of notes. We've mentioned switching to the dark feet at 12. I mentioned about the ghost touch situation. Ah yes, thanks Mike for the fists of iron thing. Now I hadn't noticed this at all, but for sure when we respec at 12 and go all out in this tree. That is something we are going to test drive, because that looks quite tasty, doesn't it? And look at the cooldown, 3 seconds and only 5 key. So yeah, that's I'm assuming that can strike through as one of our normal shots. So yeah, I think that should definitely have a place on our bar. It's what to make way. I suppose the healing key can be moved somewhere else, can't it? I can see where this is going. I've heard. I'm desperately trying to keep the number of buttons down. I've heard that monks end up with buttons all over the place. So much as I am grateful for the information on all these different finishing things, I'm going to stick with the 3 light and the healing key, because if I start putting all that kind of stuff on the bar, I'm just going to get lost and end up doing much worse, I think. Although I will say, you're the second person now to mention the Earth, Wind and Fire combo making people dance. I'm a big fan of disco, so the Boogie Wonderland reference was one that really made me smile. Mentioned that. Yeah, have any of you tried to do anything with the store since it was redone? I hadn't until today. I wanted a toolkit, a jeweler's kit and I'd seen they were on sale. It's not something I would normally buy, but I had only one left. I wanted to stock up a little bit, and I wanted to remove the ghost touch thing, because I only have one of those left as well from the weapon, and so I could put one of the snow peak things in. And I went into the store and typed in toolkit and jewelers and all this kind of thing, and it came up with 400 odd references, and it was running like a snail. And it wanted me to scroll through all these 400 things. It was coming up with stuff just totally unrelated, and I thought, oh, in the end I just gave up. So if any of you has any pointers, anything I might have done wrong, I just typed jeweler's kit or toolkit or something into that search bar, and eventually it coughed up this list of 400 things. I couldn't seem to be able to scroll. You just had to press the arrow every time, and it was sort of adding me about 2 at a time onto the page. Honestly, I preferred the old system. So if somebody can point me in the direction of something I was doing wrong there, I would be more than happy for the info. We were talking about notification, weren't we? I think I was moaning at you, Wagon, about, why can't it tell you when your stance has been knocked off for any reason? And I would really like that. And I've got the same beef over other things. Yes, I know you could watch the bar up here, but when the game's going on down here, you don't always want to be messing about looking at all this rubbish up here, do you? Same for like the angles. As far as I'm aware, that never flags up when it's run out. It's just like 3 minutes later you look up, you think, oh, it's run out again. I know you could get into the habit of triggering it every time you go into a combat, and there are some people that just put 1 point in and have the 30-second buff, and literally every time they go into a fight they trigger it. But I want an easier life, so I've put my 3 points into this, and I'm delighted to see you trigger it, it comes up, and 2 minutes later when it runs out it also comes up to let you know it's run out. So that's really nice. Now the thing I need to remember to do, these charges regenerate on the hunting bird attacks, so that's another reason I need to keep those going. Now in the fullness of time we're going to have other very compelling reasons to use those attacks as well. Well, not least of which that. And is that another? Oh no, that's a different thing altogether. But definitely that. Against any nasty target, like boss targets, that's going to be great for landing the crits. Because I think one of you said the staff was quite a crit build. Well, Well, I'm guessing we're at where are we? We're at 17 to 20 now. We're going to pick up that what is it? Improved critical bludgeon at 12 in a couple of levels time, aren't we? And that's gonna now the what's the original? The original crit range for the quarterstaff I think is a 20 only, isn't it? So I'm guessing that's only going to give us one more, so we'll be on a 16 to 20. Am I right? Do you know, that being the case, I'm almost tempted not to take it because our weapon at the level 20, our epic weapon, will have impact on it anyway, which is like the improved critical bludgeon. It won't stack with it. So, I mean, if it was going to give us 2 or 3 more things on the crit, then maybe I would, but I don't know. Let's see if there's anything more. If there's nothing really compelling at that level, I might just take it and leave it when we get to the 20 and not bother replacing it with another feat. If we're just talking about something like weapon focus bludgeon, which is a tiddly little amount that we can well do without, I think. I mentioned Falrinth already and the shuriken. Oh, while that was going on, there was an absolutely crippling amount of lag. Just unbelievable. So I was sat there. It wasn't even registering half the shots I was doing. Like walking around in pea soup. I thought, am I too far away from him? No, it was just almost frozen. So I had a nice 2 minutes there, just facing off at the end of the TOE 2. I used the Temple of Evil as a sort of a refresher for me and a test for the where we're at the moment, and I'm very pleased to say he came through rather well. We didn't die, and that's pretty tough content. Especially the ranged things there can hit really nastily, can't they? So I'm sure the deflect arrows helped us nicely, and just generally our AoE with the excellent whirlwind attack was very nice too. What I tend to like to do is lead with the healing thing, then hit the quick strike for the extra double strike, and then the whirlwind. So our whirlwind is already having the benefit of this double strike thing. And even against Reapers, so far at least, it's been doing really well. The problem is going to be, as we saw much to our chagrin in the Sorodusk thing, when the quest went to 9 and then level 10, the Reapers are souped up, aren't they, in those levels, and suddenly they go from being, you know, relatively straightforward and dying like the rest to taking, you know, 8 or 10 hits to put down, and that's where we're going to have the issues. That's where I'm going to have to really try and get this blind thing going. I mean, if we could find, I don't know, assassinate. Is it craftable? Can we do anything about it? I'm going to have to do some research there, aren't I? I'll make a little note, because I honestly don't know anything about this. Not having played a sort of a roguey build, at least not properly, and certainly not a monk, and not like a falconer either, so somewhat green around the gills. Okay, I think that concludes the waffle section. That's what you get when I sit out for a couple of days and there's a mountain of feedback comments from you folks to go through. I hope I've covered most of it. Okay, as promised then, Slave Lords Part 1. I thought this would be a good test. I won't do the short run. I'll try and go through all the optional chests, so we're going to be really tested with our fighting against groups and whatnot. What chance would I give us of getting through this? I think we'll do well against the traps. Let's put it that way. Let's see there. We have Oh, I've added the Greater Heroism Belt Planar Girds from the Zorian Cipher quest. So now look, we're in the 40s on the reflex save, and the others aren't far behind, so that's pretty decent at this level. So we should be evading most of the traps. As for the people, well, I guess time will tell.
As you enter the room, a woman wearing a noble's fire gestures for you to approach. Dame Gold
I think
points
it's
to the door
pretty
at the rear of
safe
the
to
chamber.
assume this
The
could be our
powerful young
toughest
service
test yet.
engines will lead you to the abandoned temple. The slavers have set up
And
an
I've,
outpost there.
in using that
Somewhere inside,
thing to
I'd
demonstrate,
expect
I've
you'll
actually
find the
burned
information you need to track
3
the
of
slave
the
lords back to their
uses of it.
lair.
That's unfortunate.
Dame
I'll have
Gold's
to
eyes
remember to
narrow
keep
when you
using the
hear
bird
the sound of
attacks to
steel in her voice.
regenerate it.
When you find them, I expect you to destroy them. All of them.
All of them? Are you aware of just how many there are in
The
here?
path leads to an ancient wall. The symbol of the slave lords hangs above the crumbling gateway. A poorly disguised secret door can be
Okay,
seen at the rear
so
of
remember
this
to do the
alcove.
bird attacks. Reaper at the back there. Yes. Trying the bird attack on the red crown. I don't think it worked. Might have been on cooldown still, I didn't dare to look. Bit of lag there. Now, yes, I have noticed I am glowing as per Wagon heal. Okay. There's nothing I love more than just strolling through the traps. I'll tell you what, people, there's some tasty action going down there, isn't there? Wow. That thing that got held on the left, I didn't even think that was in range of our quarterstaff. There's somewhat of a laggage going on here, so you see it's not just me complaining. And I've seen, yeah, we've got the healing key thing up again. We hardly need it, do we? But I'll trigger it just to show I've noticed it. Hold the door. Gotta remember, I'm not throwing the bird attacks in often enough, even when we don't, strictly speaking, need to. We need those boosts back that they're gonna give us. Stop jumping around all over the place. Healing key. Yeah, we've only got one boost left. Need to keep going with that. Or if I shrine, they'll come back, won't they? I'm telling you, nothing more satisfying than the old whirlwind attack. And look how many triggers we're getting of the paralyzing thing. This one's for you, Mikey. Oh, I broke 2. Bonus. I've got one more than Misadventure now. Ooh, now can I tempt them forward perhaps? Because I know there's a load of traps there. Let's throw the... Yeah, look, I've got 5 now on the Deadly Instinct thing. Because when we throw the bird in, we can regenerate them. Actually, that was a somewhat inspired move. Totally unintentional, but they got dragged through their own traps, didn't they? No, I could have been dishonest there and said I planned that. I totally didn't. All I wanted to do was not have to go myself through the traps and face them while wandering around in them. But that did turn out rather well. Let's try and remember that. Drag them through their own traps on occasion. Let's try and use this door if we can.
Vinegar, fire, and rot.
Whirlwind. Beautiful. Look at that. Decimation. I love it. Awesome. We are in a good place here, said he, shortly before dying. Where do we go here? It's got to be down there, hasn't it? Yep. Don't stand in front of the doorway. Oh, hello, Mr. Reaper. And you, Mr. Reaper. Let's trigger the boost there. Yeah. Where the hell did you lot come from? Whirlwind, come on, go! Nice, nice, nice. Come on. I'll tell you what, if he can stand up to that, we've got to have a chance, haven't we? Let's just wait a minute, and then we've got the healing key to come. Nice. So without the Reaper nerf, we're sort of healing 70, 80 from the healing key. It probably could and should be a lot more if we had positive spell power. See there, it just popped off, the Deadly Instinct, telling me it's expired. Just something little like that can be such a nice quality of life. Yeah, 52, garbage. So that's something else that needs improving.
The air grows chill in the graveyard. The plants sway gently, even though there is no wind.
I wonder if I could maybe... Oh, bats. If I could maybe craft something. Oh, look at that. And the nicer thing, of course you're doing double the damage with the whirlwind because it hits twice, but it's also 2 chances for all this crowd control to take hold. So it's just really, really sweet, that.
The sound of a door opening can be heard in the distance.
Let's get down there. I think there's going to be a load of traps on here again, are there? Oh my god. Should I really have gone flying down here? No, I shouldn't. Goodness me, suicidal tendencies. And we still haven't died. Wow. And healing key. I think now there could be some traps as well, couldn't there? And a load of spidery things. Now, what can we do on the crowd control side against these? Anything? Or we just kill them? We can paralyze them. Okay. Now here we've got casters at the back, haven't we? Can we just wait for these guys to come wandering in? And we don't want you firing all the... Oh, no shield. Should have used the hunting bird there to knock that bugger over. I'm going to wait a second, see if we can use the healing key without the Reaper nerf. Yes, nice. Shield. See, we blinded him with the bird. Although we have an attack, it's like a close range attack that we also do. You can use it from range, you just don't get your own attack. That was the knockdown. We knocked the spider down. Happy days. Still thinks he's a caster, this fella. Constitution damage. I'm not happy about that. That is bad news, because that was... Oh, that was one thing I had noted, but I haven't shared. Our inability to heal ability point damage, because I can't do anything with scrolls or anything, and I checked those things in the Shinto tree, those things on the tier 1, the extra finishing things or whatever, the minor restoration and whatever else there is. and that didn't seem to be able to help either. So I'm not quite sure what we can do against ability damage suffered. It's not terrible, a con. In fact, I don't think there is any more, is there? Or it would display. See, just something like that to tell you. Obviously, you can miss it in the heat of a battle, but just something like that to tell you your buff's finished. You need to recast. Or am I guilty of wanting the game to wipe my own ass for me? I don't know. So the first little chest is down here somewhere, isn't it? I'm sure it is. Oh, come on. Don't make me look a fool here. I'm sure it's here. Actually, no. It's off down one of these side passages, isn't it? And I can't remember which one it is. And it's definitely not that one. This one? Yeah, could be this one. Nice job. We are rocking and rolling here. Yeah, it's definitely this one. Now then, we're going to have some casters and things in the background. I'd rather not be a pincushion for them. Now we're taking a bit. See, unless there's fairly extreme damage coming in, or a red crown or something, we seem reasonably capable of, you know, lasting through it without too much trouble. And then the healing. Oh, there must be either there's something down there, or. But with so much key, we can just, like you folks have been saying, we can trigger it 3 times and pop the heal. Yeah, it's saying there's something close, but yeah, well, it's right, isn't it? Okay. Healers, peasants. I love the fact we don't seem to lose any damage against the skeletons. It's the zombies now that we have trouble against with our bludgeoning, because they are resistant to that. And why are we not doing so? They're crit resistant, aren't they? Yeah, that's it. Maybe you can't crit them at all, I don't know. And there's our first chest. Now, I have a feeling that lot are just going to come regardless, aren't they? So we better go and do something about that. I saw a touch of a red crown in here, so that's where I went first. Nice job. So unless it's an absolute avalanche, he will outlast most of it. Happy times. I hope I've done enough in this opening segment to convince you that I am in fact using the healing key somewhat better, or at least I have taken note of the feedback that was offered. So now it's down there, isn't it? Spider country and trap country again. Now what about the buff situation? Where are we at with the buffs? We'll recast that. Shield is gone again, isn't it? Okay, what's the death ward like? That's okay. Come on then, people. Oof, okay. still not using the hunting bird enough. Reaper, every Reaper should be getting one of those hunting bird things. Non-negotiable. Especially the blind. The trip thing won't do anything obviously, but the blind one. I've seen there's a crown there as well. That's what frightens me, the crowns. Especially the crown casters. Nice. Oh, hello. Ah, yeah, we've got no acid and no cold resistance on the gear at the moment. Just whoa! Thanks for that. There's no such thing as waiting around, is there? Okay. So yeah, another example of the nice uses of remnants. I found we didn't have any dodge or any accuracy. Just go to the vendors, the Randall Lyric people dotted around, get what you want. I was delighted at that. Can we cordially... Ah! I was going to say, can we cordially invite some of these people, but they invited themselves. Did you see how that Reaper got annihilated? Absolutely delighted at that. I think there's another Reaper in there. Perhaps that was a bit hasty. We do still have a boost running though. Double strike thing. You're going the same way as your Reapery pal. Yes. Don't you just love it when you're in the ascendancy? This is definitely... I hope I'm not getting ready for an awful fall here, but we are looking good here, people. We've got the crowd control lead going beautifully. We're doing some decent damage. Only the lag can stop us now. Now these could be a good candidate for the hunting bird attacks. I don't think... Oh, I might have got him. The hunting bird got him down there. Look at that. Happy days. Rock and roll, people. Rock and roll. Now, do I actually need to use this shrine? We've run out of boost, haven't we? I'm not going to risk anything. Let's use it. We'll take all the advantages we can get. It's not like we're a caster and we have a mountain of buffs to do beforehand. Okay. It does seem that our deadly instinct thing comes back very often when we're using the hunting bird attacks. So the purists would say I'd wasted 2 points there in getting the 2-minute duration. But it's something I've always done with one of those trance abilities. 2 minutes is still quite short to me, so I'm not a huge fan of having to click things, you know, repeatedly just to keep a buff or whatever it is going. Like the Horizon Walker, just clicking that that wings ability they have just to maintain the extra ranged power boost. No, I didn't fancy that. Just doing it for the sake of it. No, I loved the ability itself for the survivability it offered you when you were in a tight spot, but not just clicking it for the sake of however many ranged power it was giving. That to me was a bit bleh. Now, I think there can be traps on there as well, can't there? I always get my caster instincts on here. I see a group of things, I think, oh, we could annihilate them, and then you realise you're a melee and you've got to go and get stuck in, and it's going to hurt. Yes. Traps. Oh, Necromancer, that was a bad mistake. 2 Necromancers, a doubly bad mistake. 3 bad mistakes, I didn't use the bird on them. Crikey, even though we're not being damage reduced against these things, we're still not very good against them, are we? Bird blinded and then knocked him down. Okay. Right, another group of skeletons. Miss, dodge, deflected. Oh, we've got some crownage at the back there. Come on. Oh, no lag now, please, no lag, no. Can we use the hunting bird against those? I tried against the 2 at the back. Yes, I think we were successful. I'm happy to have the geezer behind me shoot me, because he's not a crown. Now we've got these traps. Now we're gonna get blown into the air anyway, aren't we? Even if we... Oh, did I? No, I didn't hear a Reaper. Okay, we've got plenty of crowns and things in there though. They really take some chipping down, these things, don't they? I wonder if we did have that bird enhancement, would that make these skeletons much easier to kill? Do they have like 100% fortification or something like we do? Is that why we're struggling so badly? Crikey. Do we still have our imbue on? We do. We haven't damaged the weapon, no. Let's just recast it just in case. Now that's something else I would wish we could see. The timer on the imbue would be very nice to see. I'm pretty sure the deadly instincts run out like years ago. Like maybe never even put it on after the last shrine. Crikey, the Reaper got annihilated and these other things we're struggling against, aren't we? I triggered the double strike thing there as well. Now we've got another lot coming here, haven't we? All gone, happy days. Straight in. Go for the guys at the back. That's it, we got rid of the caster. Okay. And we're going to have some more traps here. I like to try and fight around the casters or the archers at the back if possible. Yeah, they've taken a good chunk out of us, haven't they? Let's just wait a second and see if we can heal most of that up. Nice. Okay. Now, are you guys going to accept the invitation? Oh, bats, lovely. Right, power boost, come on. I was hoping the ones from the other side of the corridor had come as well and we could just have a free-for-all in the middle, but they've stayed. I think there was a minor bit of lag in there, but they were tough. Maybe I should be grateful that the others didn't, in fact, turn up to the party. Anybody know if we've got a shrine down here? I would probably do the next power boost if I knew. Okay. Running away, not picking up the soul, that's so unusual to me. Now, can I lure them down through the traps? Let's try. Don't think they took much damage, did they? Still, some is better than none. I'm throwing the hunting bird attack in whenever I can. Well, that didn't work. Oh, save. Okay, come on then. A slight bit of lag there. Go for the guys at the back. Oh, stunned. Half a pin. Somebody took a big chunk out of us there, didn't they? Okay. Hold here. Nice job. Okay. I'll definitely need the power boost here, won't I? Shall we use the dodge boost as well, perhaps? Yes.
The orc chieftain growls as you approach. You must be pretty stupid to
Standing still. Nice. Okay, come on.
never find the pieces.
I think we get some more guards coming, don't we, at some stage here? Yes, well done, boy. Beautiful. Happy with that. There you go, Brian. I'll leave you that. You'll have a trail to pick up by the weekend. You said you were going to collect them all at the weekend. We're not going up there, are we? We're coming straight back down here now. Okay, now, are there going to be some traps on the... I tell you what I could do. Rather than walk down there and have them all maul me, let's pick a nasty looking one. You look like a crown. And invite them all to come and say hello. Ooh, caster, caster, caster! No shield! No shield! Healing hands. Oh, this is how quickly it can turn. Yeah, that was brutal. Okay, so we used all our hands. Let's just calm down and get the health back up. So was that a complete cock up on my part, or was that maybe what kept us alive? If I'd have gone charging down there towards them, would I have been dead by now? I don't know. Yeah, the fact I allowed the shield buff to run out, in fact everything's run out, so let's just sort that out as well while we're on the case. I can't do anything about neg levels either, can I? I don't think. Yeah, I mean the UMD, I'm looking at where it's at the moment, it's looking like it might be usable in some form towards the end, you know, towards the cap, but for where we're at the moment, for the purposes of leveling, it ain't looking good. Oh, was there lag there, or did I just balls it up? I think there is some lag here, isn't there? Nice. Fear Reaper. Should have seen that earlier, didn't. Okay, wait a second. Now, as far as I know, maybe attacking or picking something up like a remnant or a lost soul or something will lose that healing key. There's another brutal one in here. Is there a shrine in here? I'm not sure there is. Come through the traps if you want to. I just make my last stand here. No, no, no shooting. Are they all dead back there? Wow. I hadn't even realised. Whoa. Did we pull the thing? Yeah, okay. Oof. Nice job. Against a dangerous opponent. Now we've got no dodge thing here.
A group of orcs stand around a cauldron, chanting in their harsh tongue. The witch doctor looks up and says, "Adventurers! Oh, I love adventurers. Nobody complains when I bring them."
Hit the casters. Come on. Nice, yes. Come on, let's do this.
The witch doctor cries,
Oh, we've got some more coming, have we? Okay. Thankfully, they're all melees, I think.
"Final cry." Falls silent.
Keeping that whirlwind always on cooldown is keeping us alive at the moment. But if we get a spiky thing like happened that time, we have nothing, we have no hands. There you go, Brian. A shield to go with your armour. You can thank me later. Right. Now this will test the save, I guess, won't it? I wish actually we have a decent fire resist, so no. I would like to be able to cast Fire Shield Cold off the scroll, but we just don't have the UMD for it, sadly. I've put all the points into it I can, but it's, you know, I bet if we had the scrolls, we probably would have more than the derisory 15% that I had last time. I don't think I even picked them up because of the how low the chance was. So on my head be it. Let's just, I should have got the healing key thing ready just in case we needed a boost, because we're out of combat here. We could, although I'm clicking, I'm stupid, I'm clicking things, aren't I? So it's not going to work, although the healing potions could certainly be used here. Yes. Come on, we're almost there. Now these lightning traps, these have got to be reflex, haven't they? If we can just walk through these, I'll be delighted. Did we actually get hit by that? I don't know. I think the shield's run out again, hasn't it? Decimation, people, that is absolute decimation. Beautiful. And what do we do with this lot? I'm tempted to ask them to come and see me at the door, but they're going to have a castery type with them, aren't they? I think I'm just going to rush the buggers and the hell with it.
Quiet sobs echo from the cell below.
Where's this dungeon alert come from? I haven't left a thing, have I? Not that I'm aware of. Nice. So the only thing that worries me is we've no hands. And no dodge. But we do have a 30%. We're almost at the dodge cap. So we've got to have a chance. Now let's get rid of these archer people, I think. Let's remember to use our healing key. Ooh, that was a bad one. Healing potion. Who did that? Was that the boss guy? I bet it was. I think I'm going about this the wrong way. I should be paying attention to him first. Boost. Just hammer the bugger. Come on, kill him. Come on, you can do this. Yes. Healing key. Potion. Oh, you're not so tough now without your boss, are you? Healing key again. Should have used these hunting bird attacks more against the archers. Just in the panic that was going on, I was kind of more concerned with self-preservation. But we've made it, people. We have made it. If you were just doing that for the XP, then please don't. But if you want the thrill of getting to the end and overcoming the odds, then that's got to be one that's right up there at this level. delighted at that, at how survivable we were. It took some, oh, a nice item as well for a caster. Very nice. I do, well, I'm sure you've seen my caster builds, Purple's caster builds using that one. But yeah, at the level, I don't think there's anything better than that one in the slot, or at least very few. Which is why it's going to pain me to leave it in the thing, but I can't. I don't have too many. I don't have too many inventory spaces. Frigo, I'll take it. I can't just leave it there. Okay. I'm aware that the waffle before this one ran on way too long anyway, so I won't dally, but I thought that went really well. It's a nice illustration of where we're at. The evasion is really strong. We're decent against ranged things with the deflect arrows. We're making misses from all sorts of things, aren't we? Between the blurry, ghostly, we've got. I think blurry and ghostly are two separate miss chances, aren't they? The armor class, the dodge, it's coming together rather nicely, people. And the saves as well are doing well. Fortification. These two are not amazing, are they? But they've got to hit us first to take advantage of that. The big thing that I wish we could correct is this, if they ever drain a level or take some ability score off us, I've no way to restore that. So if any of you knows something I could do there without relying on UMD at all, just say. I'll be happy for that knowledge. Other than that, hope that was okay for you. Thanks very much as always for looking, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.